Who doesn't enjoy conspiracy theories every now and then? Do I believe them all? Maybe 0.1% of the time.
Not me.
But sometimes there's that one little theory that just makes you think, wow, that makes so much sense. And many of the theories that have come out, which include P. Diddy, I honestly would say 99.9999% of those are probably mostly accurate. And let's have a look at some of the strangest TikTok conspiracies that I found.
How are Diddy and his ongoing scandals connected to the Israel lobby? Sean Diddy Combs, a prominent figure in the music industry, has faced a series of legal challenges from accusations of abuse to exploitation of vulnerable youth. The multitude of lawsuits against him are not only shockingly detailed, but allude to connections to powerful entertainment industry figures with ties to Zionist causes. One of the key lawsuits was filed by music producer Rodney Lil Rod Jones. He accuses Diddy of assault, participation in an Epstein-style trafficking ring, and threats of physical violence. Jones alleges that Diddy hosted substance-fueled parties with trafficked youth, funded by powerful figures like Universal Music Group CEO Lucian Grange. Jones claims these parties were secretly recorded to blackmail high-profile individuals, including music executives and politicians. Lucian Grange is a billionaire Zionist known for supporting Israeli causes. He's been associated with high-profile events, including the Friends of the IDF Gala, which raises funds for the Israeli military. Grange's wife, Caroline Grange, also funds several Zionist organizations. Running in the same circles is Haim Saban, an Israeli-American media proprietor, Democratic Party power player, and mega donor to Zionist causes. Saban Music Group and Universal Music Group have a partnership that includes global distribution and marketing. Another former Universal Music Group figure moonlighting as a Zionist lobbyist is David Renzer. Renzer founded an organization called Creative Community for Peace, which organizes Hollywood celebrities to speak out on behalf of Israel and against the aims of Palestinian activists. Another music industry executive closely associated with P. Diddy, Clive Davis, has partnered with Creative Community for Peace. In 1994, provided funding for the then 23-year-old Diddy's Bad Boy Records. Universal Music Group and Lucian Grange have since been dropped from Rodney Jones's lawsuit against Diddy. They were dismissed from the lawsuit after attorneys for UMG argued that the accusations against the company were offensively false and that they would seek legal penalties against Jones's lawyer Tyrone Blackburn. On October 8, 2023, Diddy posted on social media in support of Israel. That same month, he reportedly signed the No Hostage Left Behind letter thanking President Biden for his quote-unquote leadership regarding Gaza.
Bet you want to know why Jay-Z and Beyonce's name keep popping up around the whole Diddy thing. Well, that's why I'm here. Now, first thing you gotta know is when somebody like Diddy gets taken down, things always start out as a rumor. Diddy has had rumors floating around for like decades. Well, Jay-Z had a problem. He's right there in the corner, by the way. Jay-Z has had a few rumors himself, but more like speculation. People see Jay-Z in a picture of R. Kelly, they're like, I guess they both make music. Then Jay-Z with Harvey Weinstein. People are like, I guess they both do business. Then, of course, Jay-Z with Diddy. Now, hold on. Here's the thing. Jay-Z and Diddy go way back. Like back to the days when they were both coming up. So you could say they might just have a lot of respect for each other. But on the other hand, people are like, well, if you've known each other that long, Jay-Z, you must have known what Diddy was on. But Jay-Z has always had a history of keeping quiet, which brings us to Aaliyah. Now, I'm sure y'all remember R. Kelly dated Aaliyah when she literally needed her parents' permission slip to get married. Now, if I remember correctly, her parents got the permission slip and said, marry who? And that's how this whole thing got exposed. Now, a lot of people in the industry actually knew about this relationship because they would work with R. Kelly. They would be in the studio with R. Kelly. Now, according to Dame Dash, who listened closely, was Jay-Z's first business partner and also dated Aaliyah when she was 21. He said this is how it went. He said he didn't want anything to do with R. Kelly because everyone knew what type of timing R. Kelly was on. He looks over at Jay-Z and Jay-Z's out here creating collab albums with R. Kelly. But then he saw why. For starters, everyone had a crush on Aaliyah. People were waiting down the clock until she turned 18. But Jay-Z decided to get a head start. Now, there's absolutely no proof that Jay-Z went after Aaliyah, but people were like, let me see another picture. But apparently Jay-Z wasn't successful and Dame Dash started dating her when she was 21. Now, what does this all have to do with Diddy? It's the secrets. It's the, like what happened to Diddy, making people wonder. Nas came out, well, he technically didn't come out and say this, but while he was having his legendary beef with Jay-Z, he's doing a radio interview and he's saying, it's weird that Jay-Z be working with people that need a permission slip to marry somebody, R. Kelly. But again, rumors, kind of like what was happening to Diddy. But then this lawyer comes out and says, boy, do I got some news for y'all. And here's where it starts to get wicked. Now, he's going after Diddy. Specifically, listen closely, anyone that Diddy might have done something to, or anyone who's watched Diddy do some of these things and stayed silent about it. Now, first of all, the lawyer's taking calls from anyone. So theoretically, anyone could just call trying to get some money saying Diddy did this to me, Diddy should pay me. But in the lawyer's defense, I'm sure he's looking for people with proof. Honestly, I don't know him. He could be trash. Anyway, what he said next is what got people interested. He said, and I got some names. He said some wild names, some names that will blow your mind. He's selling this. He said, yo, y'all finna wild out when you get these names. I'm not gonna say it now. Y'all finna wild out. So people are like, Now, in Beyonce's case, it's just because she's married to Jay-Z and she's been in the industry for like 20 years. People are like, you must have known something. But that's all people have. Now, in Jay-Z's defense, he's famously all about the money. As far as we've seen, he's always been around Diddy for like a public event or when money's involved. And the same could be said for all the other people he was around. He could have thought, oh, R. Kelly's huge right now. Let me do an album with him to boost my name up. Many people have come out saying Jay-Z's a cutthroat businessman, kind of like Bill Gates, who I actually think is a sociopath, but that's a story for another day. And cutthroat businessmen will cross any line and work with anyone to get what they want. Because at the end of the day, to them, it's just business. That being said, that doesn't make this a good thing. That's why Jay-Z can still be prosecuted for watching crimes happen but not saying anything about it. But at the end of the day, as you probably know, Jay-Z is rich. He's not going to jail for that. It would need an insane amount of evidence, and even then, you would still probably get off. But that doesn't really matter in some cases. A lot of times, reputation is the most important thing. So a lot of times, the courts will take a case they know they can't win or sign a deal just to get the rumor mill started and get people going, yo, why did Bill Cosby sign a deal? For those of you that don't know, Bill Cosby was arrested like 20 years before the big, allegations came out. They told him, just tell us you did it, and we won't broadcast this. He said, absolutely. I need to save my reputation. People started asking questions. Boom, boom, boom. 20 years later, he goes to jail. But he actually did get out because the cops did say they were going to keep his confession low key, but then they used it against him 20 years later. But anyway, back to Jay-Z. At the end of the day, this could go any way. The thing is, Diddy's sloppy. He was bound to get caught. Jay-Z, not sloppy. So he would be a tough one to catch. But on the other hand, the FBI is pretty good at their jobs. And remember that lawyer from earlier that's going against Diddy and is gathering all those names on his alleged accomplices? Well, he also said that he gave a lot of his information to the FBI. And if Jay-Z's name pops up, he's in trouble, because how the FBI works is they'll take that information and they'll put it in a little vault with all the other information they might have on Jay-Z. When it's enough to lock him up, that's when they'll come out. So if you see the words FBI and Jay-Z in the same sentence, it's a wrap.
So this is absolutely everything you need to know about the P. Diddy and Beyonce conspiracy theory, and honestly, it is crazy. So unless you've been living under an actual rock, you've probably heard about P. Diddy being arrested recently in relation to these freak-off parties that he's been hosting. And if you don't know, I'll quickly explain. Essentially, he's been arrested because he was throwing a bunch of sex parties with like a lot of well-known celebrities and also a bunch of minors. Like, they literally found 1,000 bottles of baby oil in his house. And there's even been quotes found from like years ago from Kourtney Kardashian saying that 50% of people at these parties were naked. Like, it's wild. To be honest, when I heard all this, I was like, you know what, fair enough, like the elites are fucked, there's so much stuff about Jeffrey Epstein, like I wasn't even really surprised, but where does Beyonce tie into all of this? There is a conspiracy theory that Beyonce knew all about this the entire time, and that these parties may have even been sacrificial, but also that she's been anyone that's come into direct competition with her. I know all that sounds absolutely crazy, but listen to this song by J. Cole.
Only bad thing about a star is they burn up. Rest in peace, Ali. Rest in peace to left side. Michael Jackson, I see. Just as soon as I die, she knows. She knows. And I know she knows.
This does all sound insane, but like, look at this. Like, basically, Aaliyah, who died of a mysterious plane crash in 2001, died on the 25th. Left Eye died on the 25th. And you guessed it, Michael Jackson died on the 25th. I'm not saying I believe any of this, I'm just presenting what I've seen other people say online, but there's also a theory that all of the like award ceremony interruptions are also tied into this. Like when Kanye interrupted Taylor Swift at the VMAs to give the award to Beyonce. Some people are saying he did it because everyone's scared of Beyonce and like wants to give her all this extra credit. Other people are saying he tried to protect Taylor Swift. It's also a bit strange that Adele also snapped her Grammy in half and gave half of it to Beyonce. Like, why are all these massive celebrities like trying to give all these awards to Beyonce when she's not actually winning them? But yeah, even without this conspiracy, the whole P. Diddy stuff is absolutely crazy, but I don't know. Let me know what you guys think.
Former bodyguard of Beyonce breaks silence. Reveals 3 terrifying ways Jay-Z sold Beyonce to Diddy. 1. Business bargaining chip. Jay-Z and Diddy are 2 of the wealthiest rappers, often seen as the royalty of the hip-hop world. Rumors suggest that Jay-Z has always treated Beyonce as a business bargaining chip, forcing her to participate in questionable activities, all for financial gain. After attending one of Diddy's wild parties, Jay-Z allegedly decided to sell Beyonce to Diddy in order to maximize profits. 2. Mental control. At first, Beyonce was undoubtedly resistant, but once she was involved, there was no way out. Jay-Z supposedly used this to his advantage, brainwashing Beyonce to fully immerse herself in the party culture. The claim is that, because of this, Beyonce likely became involved in some of Diddy's crimes, even if unwillingly, leaving her with no way to turn back. 3. Total assimilation. After being sold to Diddy, Beyonce reportedly realized there was no escape, so she chose to become part of the party lifestyle. Alongside her husband Jay-Z, she engaged in immoral activities. From some leaked videos, Beyonce appears to be enjoying herself, as though she's accustomed to such a decadent lifestyle. However, there is still considerable debate about whether or not Jay-Z actually sold Beyonce to Diddy, and the truth remains to be verified.
Britney Spears was in fact hanging out with Diddy at a party he was hosting the night before her infamous 2007 performance of Give Me More at the VMAs. And given what we know now about what Diddy was doing at his parties, of course it raises a lot of questions. But before we continue on with the facts, I just want to say this is all alleged and based on my opinion on publicly available information. I believe with my full chest that Britney Spears was set up to fail on the night of the 2007 VMAs, and it is my opinion that she was sabotaged in order to push her towards this conservatorship, which happened very shortly after this. So this was in September of 2007, and the conservatorship was put into place in February of 2008. However, according to Lynn Spears' memoir, Jamie Spears was already planning this whole thing 6 weeks before it happened in February. So just a couple of months after the VMAs. Now let's get back to the night of the VMAs. There are reports that Britney Spears was sabotaged by her hair person not showing up this night. Apparently she had a last-minute wardrobe change. She was supposed to wear a corset but wasn't comfortable in it. She wasn't happy about her makeup, but also she was supposed to perform with Chris Angel Mind Freak, and he apparently ghosted on the performance, leaving her to have to learn an entire routine like 24 hours before. And according to Britney Spears' book, she was shaken because she ran into Justin Timberlake backstage. But guess what else it says? I hadn't slept the night before. I was dizzy. Well, the night before, she was partying with Diddy at a party that he hosted. She went to a couple of parties that night. The first one was not Diddy's party, but the second one was. And she rolled up to that party around 2 a.m. He made an announcement that she was there, and then he played her song, Gimme More. And apparently she left around 2:30, and then she went to a third party. Mind you, that was not the only time that she had allegedly partied with Diddy that week. There were also reports that she had blown off some kind of run-through and had partied with him until 3 a.m. instead of that. But I do find this very interesting because, as I discussed in my last video, Diddy has been friends with Lou Taylor since 1990. We're not talking about 2007. I don't know for a fact if by now in 2007 Lou Taylor was managing his assets or not, but I know that she does now. And I also know that by 2007, Lou was allegedly already trying to ensnare Britney. This is a leaked email that circulated years ago. I cannot say whether it's factual or not, but it is alleged to be from Britney Spears. And it says, Gary, since you are my lawyer, even though I do not know if you are really trying to protect me or not, but there is this crazy lady, Lou Taylor, that has been sending stuff to my house. How did she get my address, and why can't you stop her? I don't know her, and she is a stalker. She is really terrifying me and my babies. If she knows where I live, then she could just show up. She sent me an effing pink hat, and she is writing letters like she's my mother. She has been stalking me since Malibu and needs to stop because I don't have security, and Sam refuses to stay over every night because he has 1,000 dogs to go feed. And I have my babies in London, and she keeps saying I'm possessed and that she needs to come and kill these spirits. I'm asking you for help, please. This gated community cannot or will not keep stalker mail from reaching my front door. The maid let the FedEx guy in, and that's how this got here. We told her 1,000,000 times to leave me alone, and now she's saying she's going to visit my drunk effing father in Kentwood. I don't care about him, but she could easily find my mother and hurt her. What am I supposed to do when Sam is not here? I'm scared. Can you call him and tell him how important this is, that he needs to stay here every night? Because it's like no one is listening to me. And now she sent me pictures of her and a man and butterflies. She's really crazy. Do you care if I'm dead? Because I cannot sign your checks if I am. Your client, Britney Spears. I bring that up because if it's true, Lou Taylor was trying to get Britney for a while, and she already had an in with Diddy. And I don't know if you remember this, but there was a cutaway to Diddy during this performance that was kind of weird. Every other celebrity was reacting kind of surprised. But Diddy just seemed very like he knew. Given what we know now about Diddy and his connections to Lou Taylor and what he was doing at these parties that he was hosting from sometime during 2008, according to the indictment, until recently, I don't know. It does make me a little bit suspicious about what could have gone on that night. I do feel with my whole chest that Britney Spears was sabotaged that night for a purpose, and that purpose was to later get her into a conservatorship. What I do not know with my whole chest is if Diddy had anything to do with it or not. There's evidence to me that it's possible. There's definitely evidence that it's possible with his long-term friendship with Lou Taylor, down to the fact that Britney was with him so much that week. I don't know.
So this TikToker Murphy was took out by Diddy. I have seen this going all around TikTok, and we are about to deep dive this and all the crazy information that I found that might just connect her passing to Diddy. It was reported that Brittany Murphy passed away due to pneumonia the same way as Kim Porter, even though her father did his own toxicology report on Brittany Murphy after her autopsy, and he said that he found toxic metals in her body.
Today, new shocking allegations coming from her father, who says she was poisoned.
Right. And what makes everything even worse is the fact that Brittany Murphy dated Ashton Kutcher around the same time that he was best friends with Diddy. And it's been alleged for years that before Brittany Murphy passed away, she was getting ready to expose SA that was happening in Hollywood. And we know even though Ashton Kutcher was friends with Diddy, he worked at an organization for these SA child and women victims.
Obviously, all these theories are alleged, but what are your thoughts? Do you think these are true? And what do you guys think about the one with Brittany Murphy? That one just blew my mind. But I thank you so much for watching and have a wonderful day. Bye, guys.